We take an inside look at the Summit Hut's backcountry system and where you can find fresh lines any day of the week. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News. First, Keystone local Maggie Murray is running for Summit County Treasurer and Public Trustee. She launched her campaign earlier today, and in typical Summit fashion, she made the announcement on the beach at Arapahoe Basin.
Having worked up there for 10 years, I have so many friends and colleagues, so it was nice to be able to have them join me for the announcement. If it was yesterday, they'd be running around shoveling and throwing bombs and flipping burgers.
Murray is currently Director of Finance for Keystone Science School. This is her first time running for public office, but she has 14 years of financial experience and grew up following politics.
I grew up in New England, and I think back to going to those town meetings. It's kind of that classic New England thing where the whole town gets together and really does the hands-on democracy. And it was such a spark for me to see how people can come together and get stuff done, especially at the local level.
Current Summit County Treasurer Bill Wallace is term limited after a decade in office. Murray is running against Deputy Treasurer Ryan Scholl. Stay tuned for more on Scholl's campaign in the coming days. County elections are held this November. The next generation of celebrity chefs is coming to Keystone this weekend.
We're going to have 2 celebrity chef kids, Amber Kelly and Juliana Malfitano, and they have both been on Food Network, and they're going to do a live demonstration.
That was Russ Carlton with Keystone. This weekend is the debut of the Kidtopia Culinary Festival. It features 3 celebrity chefs who can't even drive yet, but still make a mean gourmet meal. That includes Eagle County local Nicholas Hornbostel. He cooked for Mr. and Mrs. Obama when he was just 8 years old.
He's going to be judging our gumbo cook-off in the Keystone Village on Fat Tuesday on February 13th. And then he's also going to do a dessert demo as well at our free Candyland Bounce Party.
The festival also includes events for adults, like a 6-course meal at Alpenglobe Stube with celebrity chef Philip Tesser. And of course, plenty of free Kidtopia events. The Kidtopia Culinary Festival begins this Friday and runs through February 17th. For a full list of activities, plus pricing, see KeystoneResort.com. The next time you make a trip to one of 4 huts in the Summit Hut's backcountry system, or maybe even make your first trip, take a second to read the logbook.
I like to say that the logbook entries are our best advertising for the huts.
That was Mike Zobe, Executive Director for Summit Huts. Hut skiing isn't exactly like staying at the Hilton, but it comes with creature comforts. Each hut has lights and a wood-burning stove, and bunks are provided. There are even saunas at 2 of the largest huts, Francie's cabin near Breckenridge and Janet's cabin outside of Copper.
The huts will supply firewood for a wood-burning stove for heat, photovoltaic electric lights, toilets in one form or another, in the very least to provide an outhouse, kitchen with all the pots and pans and silverware and everything that you need.
Terrain is different at each hut, but Zobe says there's a little something for everyone, from veterans who know what they're looking for to newcomers bringing the entire family.
It's getting away from all the crowds and getting back to a little bit simpler form of existence, I guess you could say.
Zobe has been with Summit Huts for over a decade. He says using a hut as home base for backcountry skiing and riding is a perfect way to get away from it all, but reservations fill up fast. High season runs through March, and huts close for winter in mid or late April.
Summit Huts has for quite a few years been close to its maximum capacity. That means that reservations can be difficult to come by, especially if you want to do weekends during peak season.
To reserve your hut, see summithuts.org. For our complete interview with Mike Zobe, including info on a new 5th hut that's planned for the north face of Bald Mountain, see the Krystal 93 YouTube page. That's Krystal with a K. Former Avalanche player John Michael Lyles is first to admit he's terrible at shooting on miniature pond hockey goals.
Biggest thing is there's no goalies. It's the tiny little goal with little slots on each side that you have to score in, which I am terrible at.
Lyles comes to town this Friday for the annual Dawg Nation Pond Hockey Tournament. It has raised $1 million and helped more than 100 families, including $85,000 for Summit local Dave Repsher. Tournament founder Martin Richardson talks about their connection.
They aren't just a check that we give. I'm very close friends with Dave and Amanda, and I didn't know them beforehand.
Repsher was injured in a Flight for Life crash in 2015 and recently received $100 million in a settlement from the helicopter manufacturer. Richardson says this year's tourney won't raise money for the Repshers, but Dave and his wife will still make a guest appearance at an auction party on Saturday.
We're calling this Pay It Forward with Dave Repsher. It's going to be really, really special on Saturday night.
This year's Dawg Nation tournament features 26 teams and at least 3 pros, including Lyles. Games are free for spectators, and Saturday's party is open to the public. Find out more at dognationhockey.org. That's dog spelled D-A-W-G. In sports, the Avalanche and Nuggets both have the night off, and all Summit High sports teams are off until tomorrow. This weekend, the Breckenridge Vipers semi-pro hockey team is back on home ice to play the Vail Yeti. Game time is 9:30 at Stephen C. West Ice Arena in Breck. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News.